What's going on, everybody? It's Dr. Justin here with my man, Dr. Seth.
What's up, everybody?
Yes. So today we want to come with you and just introduce like what we're going to be doing. We want to come up and we want to start doing a little show and just kind of like bring you guys information, bring you guys value, bring you guys content, answering questions that you have. So make sure that you in the comments write questions that you have or that you want us to cover in the following weeks. But I'm excited for this. Seth, what about you?
It's been a long time in the making, buddy. I love it.
Yes, it has. So as we talked about today, and you can see the title says like the 3 main causes of inflammation. And I know going through a lot of people's head, the first thing that they want to say, well, it's sugar, right? What else causes inflammation?
Well, yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff. And really, when we're talking about inflammation, I get a lot of people that come in and they're taking, turmeric pills, curcumin, they're drinking lotions and potions, they're doing all these different things. And the solution to your chronic inflammatory issues cannot be 30, 40 pills. That was never meant to be the narrative, right? So I don't care if I'm dealing with a person that has cancer, a person that has rheumatoid arthritis, a person that has diabetes. The root cause of what we're working on is figuring out what's triggering these inflammatory processes. And so the foundation of everything has got to be the food. And Justin, or Dr. Justin, what you were saying is like, well, it's just sugar. We'll just eliminate sugar. No, we're talking about what food is right or wrong for you, the individual. Literally every single patient that comes into our office, we're eliminating corn, dairy, gluten, and soy, no matter what. But then as we hone that in, what is triggering those inflammatory processes in you? And there's only one way that we can determine that, and that is what, Dr. Justin?
It's all about testing.
It's all about testing.
Yeah. I think too, and you mentioned earlier, it's like, it's people coming in taking 30 supplements and you're taking turmerics and all these fish oils and everything Dr. Google shares. But I will challenge you guys to say this, is that actually can be a cause of inflammation. You can't digest, you have stomach issues, you have digestion issues, and you think you're going to take all these supplements to just fix it, but you can't break them down. That's a cause of inflammation. Or how about it's a stress on your body? And stress is one of the absolute biggest causes of any physiological response, inflammatory wise, gut wise, hormone wise, et cetera, et cetera. And we will talk a lot about stress as we go. But really today we want to talk about testing. And he mentioned food, which kind of just leads into one of the first things that we like to test on most people is food allergies, right? So Dr. Seth, what do you see in food allergies?
Yeah, so food allergies, it's like, was this food good? Is this food bad? It's like, no, what is right for you? And I would say the biggest thing that people get themselves into trouble with are like superfood dehydrated shakes and stuff, right? So I had this one lady come in and she's like, man, I eat super clean. We go through her diet. Everything's great. She's like, well, I take this green multi-food, and we look at the back and we had her food allergy test back, and it's like a blend of like 30 different things, and like 10 of them were on her food report. Right. So I'm like, literally every time you drink that shake, you're triggering inflammatory body systematic processes in your body, and it's going everywhere. So it's no wonder every joint in your body aches. No wonder you can't sleep. No wonder you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden you can't move your shoulder, right? Because we're starting the day with inflammation as it relates to poor digestion.
Yeah, it's crazy too. Because I was allergic to, for instance, and we say like, you don't know what you don't know. So I was allergic to, and you guys might want to sit down for this. It was broccoli, cauliflower, lettuce, rice, tomatoes, onions, garlic, pepper, eggs, almonds, peanuts, soy, wheat, dairy, cheese, corn, lentils, green beans, kidney beans, Brussels sprouts, bacon cheese, Gruyere cheese, and like a few other things.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I was telling this, and my kid, we just did some food allergies on him. And he was just like literally like spitting back with this. He's obviously heard me say that again as I'm talking to clients and patients online. Mm-hmm. And I had no idea that a salad could be causing so much inflammation. And in the beginning, I had zero symptoms. I had no health issues. I was perfectly fine, exercising, eating right, eating healthy. But what I was eating wasn't right for, like you said, my body. Just because Dr. Google said it was good for you didn't mean it was good for me, which led to other issues that I found out I had, which will kind of just segue into the next thing, is I did a stool test. I did a stool test having zero symptoms and found out that I had leaky gut going on, found out I had bacterial infections going on, that I couldn't break down and digest things, that I had immune system issues because I was triggering my immune system each and every day by eating healthy, right? And so then it was just like, I got to start fixing this and I got to start doing it and being preventative, because then what happened, and can I tell you a secret? I tell most people a secret, is that men are idiots Okay.
Yep.
Myself included, because I didn't have any problems. And even after all the testing, I'm like, still, yeah, but I'm like perfect. Nothing's wrong with me. And but I started getting skin issues. I started getting like these like psoriasis patches on my arms, and it went and spread across my chest and down my other arm. And it was then when I was like, okay, maybe it's time to do something. Maybe it's time to change. And when I started fixing the problems, I thought I felt great. I actually felt great, and my physiology said I was great. And that's a whole different ballgame there.
Yeah, and I think that's the trap that most men fall into is like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type thing. And we're the worst. And I'll cop to that as well. It's like, and we don't do anything unless like our legs falling off or whatever. And then that's the worst time to be focused on your health, is when you're in the middle of a health crisis. So we want to be proactive, never reactive. When you're reactive, man, you're scrambling. It's really hard to have clarity. It's really hard to process information. It's really hard to pull yourself out of it. So don't be that guy. I highly doubt there's a whole lot of men on this live stream anyways, but if you are on there, just please heed our advice. Don't be that guy. Let's get to the cause of this thing. Let's fix it before, it gets catastrophic, because that's that ridiculous narrative, Dr. Justin, where people are like, oh yeah, he was so healthy. He exercised every day. He looked great. And then this catastrophic event happened. Well, that doesn't work like that. Healthy people don't drop dead of heart attacks. Healthy people don't all of a sudden get stage 4 cancer out of nowhere. It takes time to build and build and build. So when is enough? And when do we need to turn this around? Hopefully it's before the catastrophic event.
Yeah, I hate that men, especially men, we're picking on men today, but like women are the ones who take action for their health, and then the men kind of follow because you do whatever mama says. But don't wait until it's too late, and everybody thinks they're fine and healthy, and I myself included. Like I thought I was perfectly fine. Like I could run, I could work out, I could exercise, I had energy, I had everything. But now I'm even more. It's amazing. So again, to recap, and I like to explain it this way: like when we have health issues, we have to start in the gut, and so that's where that stool testing. A stool test, because most people say, well, like my doctor did a stool test. What did he test for, though?
Yeah.
He tested if you have cancer or not. He tested if there is blood in the stool and stuff. And listen, good. That's good information to have. But did they test for the breakdown of fats and proteins and carbs? Did they test for the immune function? Did they look for inflammation? Did they look for leaky gut? Do they even think leaky gut exists? The answer is no. Did they look for the bacterial infections, the overgrowths, the imbalances, the causes and the triggers of the problem, so that you can put a plan of action together to fix it, right? And the other thing that I say is like, and we talk about food allergies, people will say, I've heard this a time and again, it's like, but I'm just allergic to everything I ate. Okay, well, wouldn't the good question to be, why?
Yeah.
Why? That means you have gut issues. You have leaky gut issues, and those proteins are not getting digested in the stomach. They're getting in the intestinal tract. They're spreading through the tract into the bloodstream where they're not supposed to be, and they're triggering IgG reactions or immune reactions, or in other words, it is literally putting fuel to the fire that we're trying to put out and address so that we can transform your health.
Yeah, and so let's think of it like this. If all people do is do a food test, right? It's gonna come back, and most of the things that are in your diet are gonna be on that food test because your digestive system's terrible. And if all you do is remove those foods and you maintain a terrible digestive system, what are you gonna become sensitive to, Dr. Justin? All the new stuff you're going to be eating, right? So it's just this never-ending hamster wheel. So we have got to get to the cause of the problem. Why are we so food sensitive? It's because of a bad digestive system. What's wrong? What do we need to do to fix it?
That's right. Yeah, and you just got to take action. In order to fix it, is you got to have somebody to help and guide you and coach you through this process. And that's one of the biggest things that we do. And we help people all over. So just so it's clear, like I'm on the East Coast, Dr. Seth is on the West Coast. But we still have this West Coast representing.
Yes.
I haven't been back there in a long time. It's you need help and support, because if you've gotten to this place and you have all the information in front of you, because you have Dr. Google there, but it's not working for you, you have to try something different. Feel free to reach out to us. That is what we help you with. We help you find answers to problems doctors can't solve. And that's the best way I can put it, I think.
I mean, couldn't have said it better myself, right?
Yep. So guys, we just wanted to jump on, talk about inflammation a little bit, because it's such a big topic. We are one to come out every week, and we want to do some different segments for you. And so if you have questions or you have things that you want us to cover, put it in the comments. We'll look at it, we'll answer back, and we'll kind of put stuff together, and that will help us to answer your questions. Dr. Seth, anything else you got left to say?
I mean, I think the last thing we should really talk about is inappropriate immune function, right? So I don't know if y'all are seeing it on the East Coast like we see it on the West Coast, but oh my gosh, are people autoimmune sensitive now more than ever with everything that's been going on? If you want to talk about inflammatory processes in the body, if your immune system is hyperactive, holy smokes, right? So if you're having all these weird symptoms, things are not firing right, and you're like, man, I used to X, Y, and Z was going on, no problems, and all of a sudden all these things are being triggered, we really have to look at the immune system. And unfortunately, you go to your doctor, you get a blood test, they're like, nope, you're not autoimmune, you're crazy, right? And just because one marker doesn't show up in your blood does not mean autoimmune issues aren't being triggered all over your body. So we need to get to the cause of that. If that's an issue, it's going to be the missing ingredient. Like you spoke to, Dr. Justin, with poor digestion, food sensitivities not being shown, also not calming down your immune system. Man, it's just a vicious cycle. And no wonder people aren't getting the results that they're looking for, because we're looking at the wrong information, right?
Yeah, 100%. And one thing to talk about autoimmune, because it's such a big thing, and I can see it like rising, and especially in the future with everything that's going on. Autoimmunity is not your body attacking itself. What do doctors tell you? What does Dr. Google tell you? Your autoimmune is your body attacking itself. Well, listen, would you think, does your body make mistakes? Would your body attack itself? No. But what is your body doing? It is attacking something. What is that something? And if you can find the something that it's attacking and remove it, allow the immune system to do what it's supposed to do, your body can restore to normal normal physiology. That's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to reverse disease process. We're not trying to fix you or treat you. We are trying to remove things that are triggering your immune system to be out of normal response so that you can have a normal life, so that you can be there for your kids, so that you can take people to the park, not miss ball games, not miss sports games, not miss opening ceremonies of schools, whatever it may be, not miss out on vacations in life. Because you're sitting there, you're struggling, you're hurting, you're sick, you have no energy, you're miserable, you don't like what you are. Change. Do something about it.
I mean, man, poetry in motion right there, Dr. Justin. You're flowing today.
Sometimes, every now and again. Can you become not allergic to certain foods? So that's a good question. And the answer is yes. So like I went from 30 some odd allergies. I had 30 IgGs and I had 5 or 6 IgEs, which is like the true anaphylactic allergies. Today, I have 8 IgGs and 2 IgEs. So yes, you can get rid of the allergies, but it is not easy. And it is not just doing a food allergy test, stop eating those foods, because Dr. Seth said, like, you stop eating those foods, maybe you become not allergic to those foods because you're not eating it, but you become allergic to the foods you are eating, right? So you have to fix the reason you were allergic to those things in the first place, the reason your gut was destroyed in the first place. And then, yes, you can reverse those allergies. But the best way to know that you're allergic or not to something is to retest. It's all retesting.
Yep, retesting is huge. And let's just play hypothetical. If your digestive system were functioning at 100%, if your stomach was dumping crazy amounts of acid and you're burning through everything would be broken down. So there's no way for your IgGs to be responding to something that doesn't exist. So hypothetically, yes. Yeah. But what is the number one cause of poor stomach acid production? Stress. Your body's response to stress. All those different things. So yeah, absolutely, you can reverse those things. Some of them are going to be around forever. So for instance, I don't need an IgG test to tell me I shouldn't be eating a handful of mercury, right? So obviously we'll use some common sense there, but yeah, absolutely. As your digestive system heals, your body will do some amazing things.
Yeah. Yeah. The body's brilliant, right? I mean, it is absolutely brilliant. And it reacts. It's always protecting itself. And I want to talk about hormones. I want to talk about defense mechanism stuff on different topics, but yeah, this was really good. Any other questions? Keep them coming. We got maybe a couple more minutes here. Just excited to get on with you guys and just share what we want to open up and start doing this, and it's fun.
Yeah, I love it. Dr. Lacey said mine went down substantially. Yes, thank God for that, because my wife does not cook. I'm the one that cooks in our family. And let me tell you, my mother-in-law got tested, my sister-in-law got tested, my brother-in-law got tested, my niece, my nephews ever got tested. So we'll have family get-togethers, and I literally have to do it like partition everything out. I'm like, take what you want, put whatever you want in there, because man, the food allergy game is rough, especially when you get 5, 6, 7, 8 people with all their different idiosyncrasies.
Yeah. My wife had the opposite allergies of what I had when we first started too. And so we like just didn't eat together for 6 months.
Right. Yeah. I think the best way when you have a family that's being tested, you just combine everybody's stuff. And then that way everyone's safe, everyone's good. If you're trying to like cook specifically for one person, it just doesn't go well.
I had a very thorough food allergy testing a couple years ago, but I had leaky gut at the time. Does that mean my testing results were incorrect? Well, so go ahead.
No, it doesn't mean it's incorrect. It just at that moment in time, that's what it reflected. So my question would be, is the leaky gut reversed? And if it is reversed, we absolutely should be retesting your food because it's going to look totally different.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. And, we try to do our food allergies every 12, maybe 18 months, just if time and stuff goes by. But like every 12 months, we try to do another type of test. And we like to do those food allergies because I want to know what I should be eating today, not for what I shouldn't have been eating yesterday. Because your immune system changes, your body changes, right?
It has to, or we can't survive, right?
It adapts to its environment. That's right. Good question, Amy.
Yeah, I love that.
Are all food tests the same quality-wise? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No.
You can get some cheap ones online. You can definitely do that. But yeah, not all tests are created equal by any means. There's different IgGs. There's IG 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's IgEs. There's all these different things. So what is the one testing that is on a commercial? Dr. Seth, did you take a supplement that they advertise on the TV for?
No, I don't do my healthcare shopping at Costco. I don't take pills that Terry Bradshaw recommends or whatever, right? So, some of those brands out there that you'll see Facebook ads are like, oh, get your food tested for $89. What that is, those companies are not actually companies, they are brands, okay? And what those brands do is once they get people's money, they farm out that information to labs that no provider will work with because it's just garbage. And so you're getting stuff back. And I don't know if you've gotten a lot of those, Dr. Justin, where you'll read them for people. And like, for instance, they'll test like 60 different cheeses. Well, it's the same cow protein. So why are we testing 60 different cheeses? Just say, is cheese in or is it out? It's out. Okay, we're done with cheese. But that's the way they manipulate data to make it look like they're testing more stuff than really is present. It's infuriating. It's not fair to you, the customer. And so, yeah, no, if you can get the test without a provider helping you, I really would hesitate moving forward in that way.
Yeah, it's unless you really like cheese, right? You just want to find the one. Don't want cheese. You shouldn't be doing the dairy anyways.
Yeah. Amy, we like to go through a company called KBMO. There's a bunch of good ones out there. Which ones do you guys use, Dr. Justin?
Yeah, we US Biotech, Immunolabs.
Yeah, Immunolabs good. Yeah.
Yep. Those are good ones. What is the medical term for leaky gut?
Leaky gut?
Leaky gut. Yeah. Oh goodness gracious! Now I got to think of the word. There is.
So Valerie, that's one of the things they really do not like to diagnose because there's no pill that they can give you. Usually what they'll diagnose is find some way to say that you have acid reflux so they can give you an antacid. That's really any gastroenterologist out there. That's usually their go-to. They'll do scopes, try to look for ulcers, those types of things. But if, what did they say? I got a diagnosis back from a gastroenterologist of a patient I'm working with, and they called it visceral irritability, Dr. Justin. Basically, it means is she doesn't have an ulcer, but like her tissue's all mad. And I'm like, oh, you mean like inflammation? She's like, I guess. But yeah, that's the insanely frustrating thing. It's like a diagnosis is just a list of symptoms that somebody said, we're going to call it this from now on. So is the body functioning the right way? No, it's not. What do we need to do to fix it? Those are really the better questions to be answered.
Yeah. Intestinal permeability is another term that I've seen.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
Facebook user. It says on mine. I don't have all the names on here, but it says, I believe Dr. Seth has me on the right track. I guarantee it. So
I agree. I don't know who that is, but you're right.
It's got to be true, right? So
it's got to be true. Yeah, exactly.
Whatever the system that we use, I can only see some of the comments and some of the people who say that. So I don't know. In the coding world, we call it functional intestinal disorder. Yeah, sure. Okay. There's all kinds of different things. And there'll be new diagnoses that come out as they have new drugs that come out too.
You got it.
And I can promise you that you can't drug or poison or cut or burn yourself to health, right? You have to do something. You have to fix the underlying triggers. You have to fix the underlying causes, but it starts with testing, not guessing. You don't want me to guess. I can guess pretty decently, but you don't want me to guess because you can guess wrong. So just get the testing done. That's what it's all about. So
that's the first step right there. Let's get some good information.
Yes, yes, and yes. Listen, guys, I appreciate you tuning in, watching. Share this around, like this, and then we'll be back. We're going to come every Monday. We might try to change the times a little bit as we're just trying to find what works best for everybody, but you can always watch the replay. So
keep in mind, I'm 3 hours behind you, so let's not go earlier.
You guys think we should go earlier? We should
don't hit me with the 5 a.m. Live stream. I'll do it for you guys, but I'm not going to be happy about it.
It's not about what he's happy or not. So listen, you guys have a wonderful day. Start your week out right. Drink some water, hydrate, get it done, ask questions, and tune in next week. We will see you soon.
See you later, everybody.